Hello everyone, in this video I briefly describe how you can use R to create pie charts. And pie charts are basically the type of illustration that are used for categorical data, and they are used to show each category in relation to their whole. So let's go to R really quick, and I have two vectors here, or variables here, degrees and number of graduates. So I would like to create a pie chart using these two vectors. Remember, the first one is values, the second one is labels. So it's important to understand where each of these variables fit in a pie chart before thinking about creating a pie chart in R. So the basic command is to put pi and then start with the measurement value. In this case, it's number of graduates, and then comma, and then label, which is the label for each of those values. In this case, the label is degrees, and you can actually run this and get a pie chart. But you can also extend this command additionally to other stuff. For instance, if you want to add the name of the pie chart, let's say you want to say the new chart, that is going to give you the name or the title of the chart. You can also add color if you want. So color could be equal to rainbow 4 maybe. So as you can see, it gives you a specific type of color scheme, or anything else you think you can add. But it's important to understand the basic structure of a pie chart formula. Also modify your label by adding or removing from it. Let's say, for example, in addition to having the name of each of these labels for each of the slices, you would like to add the sum or percentage of each of the counts in relation to the whole sum. Then in this case, you'll have to create a new vector or variable to count for those. So in this case, I would say create a new vector where I will write a function of function to get each of the count of each of these values and divided by the sum of them, and divided by the sum of those values. And this is the simple way to extract a percentage out of a number. And then lastly, multiply that by 100 to change the proportion to decimals to percentage. And there you go. We have a new vector now that counts for the percentage of each of these slices. And so once we do that, we can create another vector. In this case, that will be degree. Let's say it will be degree label 2, and in this case, we would use the paste function to bring in to put in values from multiple vectors or variables into one variable. In this case, I would put paste, and then the first will be I'll bring in the name of each of these degrees, and then not degrees, all right. And then I will I'll bring each of these calculation. I'll bring the percentage, and then close the parentheses and run it. So if we were to, let's say, create a new pie chart, let's say pie chart 2, and pie 2, and then put the values, number of graduates, and then put the the new degree label which is created, then it should give us a new pie chart with the number or with the count of each one of them. We can also add the percentage sign. We can do that by adding the sign. In this case, that would be, let's say, it depends on how you want. If you want it in a parentheses, then we can put parentheses sign, and then comma, and then again put the percentage sign, and then comma, and then put the closing parentheses, and then lastly we can put the separator. The separator in this case could be one space between each one of them, and then run this, and then run the pie chart again, and you should see in this case how there's a mistake. So the degree name will come, and then there will be the number of calculation. And so let's say we would like to put the parentheses, instead of having it, we'll just put the number inside the parentheses. So parentheses, and then comma, and calculation, then percentage, and then again closing parentheses. And let's just put one single space, and then run it again, and then run the pie chart 2 again. Bingo. So yeah, one space necessary, I guess, and then run pie chart 2. There you go. So now we have a pie chart where not only do we capture the label of each of the slicers, but also the percentage of each of the slicers. We can actually change, we can actually add any measurement or calculation we want. We can add count, sum, average, anything that you think will be necessary can be actually calculated for, and could be accounted for, and could be added onto the label. And then we have the 3D pie charts. So 3D pie charts are also common, especially in advanced graphics. So in order to be able to produce a 3D pie chart, you need to download the package called Plotrix. Once you download it, I already downloaded this. I already have it downloaded onto my R memory. So in order to save time, I wouldn't do it again. So, but make sure that you bring it, you call it into the memory by using the library function. In which case, I would do it right now. Plotrix, library Plotrix, not found. I thought I did. Plotrix. Yes, it's now activated. Once you activate the library, you can go ahead and write the function. The structure of a 3D pie chart is the same as a basic pie chart. Pretty much the first variable will be the x, as the function's details shows here, x. And to be able to write scripts and code, it's very important to understand the details for each of the functions, and they help you. It's almost impossible to remember all the codes, but to be able to read instructions to write a code, that's the key. So you start with the first variable will be the measurement or the numerical attribute of the categorical data, in which case that will be number of graduates, and then labels. The labels will be I can use the degrees, or I can use the enhanced vector here, the one we just created, that contains the percentages and the proportion of each of the categories. And then lastly, explode function is also common. It helps. It designates how far each of the slices should be from one another. 0.2, 0.1 is the most common. I'll just use 0.2. And then you can also expand this, like I said, to additional stuff. So you can add, let's say the label, which is a main equals to, and then put the character value, which could be pie chart. And you can also add colors if you want. You can also use the RColor Brewer library in order to bring in a variety of coloring into your charts. But I wasn't going to use that for right now. I'm going to go ahead and close it and run it. And bingo, I have my pie chart in 3D here. And there are some relevant libraries that you can try. ggplot is very common. It's very popular. Again, RColor Brewer is also helps you with coloring schemes and textures, etc. And ggpubr is also another famous library that's used for graphics and visualizations. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much.